Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Fossa the Silver Chimera, and in this video, I'm going to show you a Strand Titan build with the new exotic bow. Generate tons of orbs for you and your teammates, keep Woven Mail up to reduce damage, and leave your enemies hanging by a thread. Let's get into it. So, this build utilizes the new exotic Strand bow, Wishkeeper. You can grab this from the new exotic mission Starcrossed. The intrinsic perk on this fancy-looking bow is Snare Weaver. Precision hits and final blows build energy towards a Snare Weaver arrow that can be fired from the hip. On impact, Snare Weaver arrows create a pattern of traps that suspend targets. The TLDR is, you hit your headshots, kill shit, and put a big booby trap on the ground. While our enemies are just hanging around, we activate the other trait on this weapon, Silkbound Slayer. This weapon deals bonus damage to suspended targets, gains faster draw time for a short duration when you suspend a target from any source or damage a suspended target with this weapon. Moving on from our fancy new toy, we're wearing the Titan Exotic Legs Abeyant Leap. These come with the perk Puppeteer's Control. Dranger's Lash spawns 2 additional projectiles, tracks targets more aggressively, and travels farther. Gain Woven Mail when suspending targets. So when you pop your barricade, you shoot 3 strand blasts that suspend any poor son of a bitch that gets in the way. And when they're suspended, you gain Woven Mail, which is a really nice way to get some damage reduction. Now the fun part is, anytime you suspend something, you get Woven Mail, whether that be your barricade, the bow, or the grenade we're going to be using. It's a win-win. Moving to the subclass, we're on Berserker, and we're rocking the short barricade for a shorter cooldown, but don't be afraid to use the tall one if you want. I just like the short one because I find it easier to play around since you can shoot over it, and it gives you buffs to reload speed, stability, and range. For our grenades, we're using the Shackle Grenade for on-demand suspends, thus giving us Woven Mail due to the legs. The aspects we're using are Dranger's Lash, of course. Activate your class ability to create a ripple in reality that travels forward along the ground, suspending and damaging targets it hits. This goes well with our legs, of course. The second aspect is Into the Fray. Destroying a tangle or casting your super grants Woven Mail for nearby allies. While you have Woven Mail, your melee regeneration rate is increased. This aspect is very helpful for staying alive, but also maintaining the aggression. And a fun note, when you destroy a tangle, it sends out a healing pulse, which is always helpful. This goes for your teammates and you're constantly making tangles all the time. Moving on to the fragments, the first one up is the Thread of Continuity. Suspend, unravel, and sever effects apply to targets have an increased duration. This is helpful because we're suspending constantly. Sever comes from our melee, and unravel will come from the artifact mod. Thread of Wisdom, defeating a suspended target creates an orb of power. Obviously, like I said before, we're suspending non-stop. This just fits in there perfectly. Thread of Generation, dealing damage generates grenade energy. We're going to be doing a lot of damage. There's going to be threadlings, unraveling rounds, all this stuff, constantly doing little ticks of damage, and we want our Shackle Grenade as much as possible. Finally, we have the Thread of Mind. Defeating a suspended target grants class ability energy. Now, obviously, that's kind of a perfect little loop of you do your barricade, suspend stuff, get some of that back, murder everything in the room, and you're just kind of, constantly making orbs and strand, and everyone's hanging around, and it's fun. It's great. Moving over to our armor mods. On the head, I like to use Dynamo, because we're going to be using our barricade all the time, so, it helps you get your super back. Our Harmonic Siphon or Strand Siphon, because you're using the bow a lot, so you want even more orbs. And I was able to fit on a heavy ammo finder, which is nice. On our arms, we're going to be using... I use heavy-handed because I like to sneak in a melee whenever I get the chance to help make tangles. I'll make another orb. Impact Induction, causing damage with a powered melee reduces your grenade cooldown, so that helps us get our grenade even faster. Bolstering Detonation, grant class ability energy when you cause damage with the grenade. So when you throw the grenade out, you help get your barricade back, so you kind of find that loop of, you throw your barricade out, kill some stuff, make some orbs, throw your grenade out, suspend some stuff, kill some stuff, stuff like that. And really helpful. You could also probably do, a harmonic loader, because I think that increases the draw time of the bow. But, I think, that's kind of up to you. I could see that being useful, but I don't really need it. And also the bow is craftable, so, I think that'll probably just be better when we get all the stuff for the bow. On the chest plate, we're doing one charged up, and then, you can do your reserve or your resistances, whatever you got to do. That one you can kind of move around on what you want to do. But you definitely want charged up, because when we get to the legs, we are doing 2 strand surges, because the bow is strand. And then I like to do invigoration, because we're already making a bunch of orbs, so to help with survivability. Pick up an orb, get some health back right there. You can, this is kind of up to you again. You could do... invigoration or innervation, all of them sound the same. Class ability 1, all that kind of stuff. Also, you could do elemental charge, but there's lots of orbs. You don't really need to worry about that, but if you want to, that's there. And then on the Titan class piece, you definitely want Reaper, because you're using your barricade all the time. Time dilation is also really good. You can throw on a bomber mod, or I've been recently trying out a powerful attraction, because you pop a barricade, you pull orbs to you. That's also nice, because this is more of a long range build. So, you don't want to you don't want to run out there constantly and get chewed up. So pull the orbs to you is also nice. So those are my recommendations for that. Finally, going down to the artifact mod for this season, this being season 23, this is what I've been using. The main ones are obviously unraveling orbs. When you pick up an orb of power, it grants your strand weapons unraveling rounds. So anytime you pick up an orb, start firing the bow, it starts to just, send out little projectiles and chew everything up around it. And then if you get a big group caught in it, they all just kind of keep damaging each other. And then finally, Horde Shuttle. Damaging unraveled targets with this weapon will occasionally spawn a threadling. So, those work together. Grab an orb, everyone's hanging up in the air, you start plinking them and hitting them, and threadlings start running around and damaging other ones, and they're unraveled, and then those make more threadlings, and then you throw your barricade out and suspend more people, and you just kind of can chew everyone up in the room, from a good distance. Like it lets you kind of just throw damage out in that direction. So that's really nice. Those are the two main ones. Everything else is kind of up to you. This season we do have Unstoppable Bow, so that's another level of anti-champion, because the spend already kind of fucks with unstoppable champions, so that's an option. And then everything else, you can do whatever you want to do. If you're by yourself, solo operative. If you're using the solar secondary, you can use some of the solar mods. A Wished into Being is a nice one, because occasionally we'll just get a bunch of orbs from something, so that's nice. And then, from whence you came, stuff like that. So that's pretty much the build on a technical level. I think it'd be kind of fun to go over like what my thought process was for the look of it, because, the real end game of Destiny is fashion. So this is the outfit I'm going for this bow. And, I really like it. I know it's kind of like crazy, but the more I used the bow and the more I saw about the bow, I definitely started to think spidery, because it's like you're a net and strand is strings and all that kind of stuff. So, Titan's got that spider set from the Halloween event this last year. So I thought that went really well. And I went to the Crota armor, because it has those big green spikes. Those look very strandy. And the spider that I was kind of thinking of has these big spikes all over their back, and they're really big, and they're kind of a lot to look at. Like they're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very bleh, right? They're very big and stuff. So I kind of wanted to use that as a starting place. And so I think this is the outfit. I think it's kind of kooky. It's out there, but I actually have a lot of fun with it. I think it looks really cool with the bow. I'm using the Peat Bog Boogie shader, because it kind of matches the bow. Shout out to, I can't remember the name, but there was a video I saw where they recommended this shader. So I thought, I used it. It looks really cool. The strand, or the energy coming off of the Crota pieces, looks really strand-like. The bow has big green strings. Spider legs, it's spiky. The legs have eyes on them. It all just kind of works. So feel free to tell me how much you like or hate this particular outfit, but I have a lot of fun with it. And, maybe share some of your outfits with me, see what you guys think about the bow. But I think that's about everything. I'm kind of rambling again, because this is very light scripted. I just kind of want to make the build. I know I've seen other builds like it. And, I don't really know the rules about like build videos and this stuff. So if this is like another person's build, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, bite off anyone's shit or anything. But this is kind of what I came up with. And yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I think the bow's really good. I've always liked suspending and trapping stuff. That's very much a thing I enjoy in games, is like the trap and dot damage type of stuff. So I think it's cool, and I think it's fun. It's very effective against champions of all types, but especially Unstoppable. You have so many ways to just keep an Unstoppable locked down. During the Grandmaster, when this was recorded, you're able to trap the Tormentor, and do damage from a safe place. The only kind of risk are when you want to tangle or an orb that's kind of further away. You kind of have to, You got to play around that. But once you're good at Tangle, you throw it on the ground, break it. You have Woven Mail, you're getting healing back. You throw a Shackle Grenade, you throw your Barricade, or the bow, you're taking a lot less damage. So I think it's effective. Is it the strongest bow? Is it like the best exotic? No, but it's fun. And it's, for the first exotic strand bow, I think it's really good. And I'm very curious to see how good it gets once we start to upgrade the weapon with its catalyst and all those different perks. And I think there's a monster lying just beneath the surface with this bow. So those are my thoughts. This is the build. I'm going to call this build the Orb Weaver. That's the name. I think it's the name of the spider that inspired me. So I think it's an African spider. I don't know. But Orb Weaver sounds cool. You're making a lot of orbs. You're weaving traps. And yeah, so this was my first Destiny build video. I hope it didn't take too long. I watch a lot of build videos. I like a lot of build videos. I love builds in Destiny. I love fashion. So if you liked the video, let me know. If you want to see me make a build for the other two classes using this bow or just different builds in general, let me know. Talk to me in the comments below. I'm always there. I want to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I'm Fossa the Silver Chimera. Thank you for stopping by. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified for the next video. Happy holidays, and I will see you next time.